How's it going, guys? It's your boy Fox back at it with another Marvel Rivals video. I know, it's been quite some time since I last uploaded a YouTube video, but I'm back and I'm here to talk about on why DPS is the most hated in Marvel Rivals. We know that a game like Marvel Rivals can get very toxic. We know this because there's toxicity everywhere and it's coming from the tanks, it's coming from the healers, but really it's mainly coming from the DPS. And let me just say this, everyone loves healers, we all need a tank, but we really don't need DPS. And sadly, DPS is the one that's hated the most in Marvel Rivals, and I'm here to go over why that's the case. The most toxic. Without a doubt, DPS in Marvel Rivals are the most toxic. Do not tell me that's not the case, because it is. How can you tell me that this game isn't toxic when it's always the DPS complaining and spreading negativity in every single match? We can be playing in competitive mode and we can be doing poorly as a team in the beginning of a match, and boom, someone is yapping and over the mic on how they're not getting healed or how someone isn't getting a lot of kills in the match, even though the match just started 2 minutes ago. Relax, DPS. The game just started. It doesn't mean we lost already. It just means we have a bad start. Very needy. Along with being very toxic, the DPS is very needy. I never knew how annoying this type of behavior is, but it's very bad. Because for one, this is exactly what retail workers go through with whiny customers when their order isn't delivered at the speed of light, or how they're not getting healed every second of the game. Keep in mind, the healer has at least 3 other people to heal, and this one DPS thinks the world revolves around him, because it does. Since he is a DPS in Marvel Rivals, that means he by default gets the #1 priority in the healing list. No, buddy, that's not how this works. But apparently, that's how this logic works when someone decides to become a DPS in Marvel Rivals. Doesn't care about you. At the end of the day, the DPS does not care about you. You can be doing clutch heals in the entire match, but because the DPS died, he's gonna be blaming you on why he died at the very end of the game. And God forbid if you guys lose, again, the DPS is going to complain and blame you. And no matter how hard you try to heal a DPS or protect the DPS as a tank, he doesn't care about you. He only cares about himself. Just remember this, most DPS, they actually do play the game accordingly, where they work with the other roles together. But some DPS, they do whatever the fuck they want to do in Marvel Rivals. Everyone wants to be Spider-Man, but not everyone can perform like Spider-Man. And when someone is Spider-Man, you know they don't care about the team, because if they did, they wouldn't really pick Spider-Man in a competitive match. And winning? Forget about winning, because the game is about them, not you. So winning is out the window. But remember this, guys, if you have a DPS always complaining non-stop over the microphone, that should be a red flag that that DPS does not care about you. So if you're a healer, you might want to think twice on healing someone like that. Always complaining. Along with not caring about you comes complaining. We play games to have a great time, but with the DPS, they play games to complain, especially in a game like Marvel Rivals. It's like their sole purpose is to go online in Marvel Rivals just to complain to their tanks and healers on why they suck and why they're not getting healed, and that they're the reason the DPS is always losing. Not we're always losing, they're always losing. Because if you guys are losing, the DPS is not going to take accountability on maybe they should have done better. Maybe they should have backed up their healers when they're getting freaking decimated by another person's Spider-Man. No, they're just gonna complain on how the healers suck for not healing them and how the tanks suck for just being a tank. I don't know. Their logic is in the stars. They're gonna complain about anything and everything, so be prepared for that. But if you're smart, you're prepared to mute them. They're the boss. For some reason, DPS think that they're the leader in the squad. Why? Because they're playing as a DPS. I don't know why, but there's this whole power complex when people play DPS. Like they're this big top manager at a job and the tanks and the healers gotta listen to their directions. Like, bro, relax. It's an online video game, not a job. And who the hell told you that you're the squad leader? Because last I checked, you're just a DPS. A dime a dozen. Replaceable. Everyone wants to be DPS. Everyone wants to be DPS, but no one wants to perform like a DPS. It's so easy to be Spider-Man in Marvel Rivals, but can you actually perform like a true Spider-Man player in Marvel Rivals? No. Don't get me wrong. Playing characters like Iron Man or Punisher, they're pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. But remember, you gotta perform too. Okay, so you were fast enough to choose Punisher as your main over the other few people that wanted to be Punisher, so you better perform. I don't want to hear no bull that you couldn't get at least 5 kills because you weren't healed or whatever. If you are playing as a DPS, that shows to the other people in the team that this is your main. This is your bread and butter. This is the reason why you chose to play in Marvel Rivals, because Iron Man is available and you decide to be Iron Man. But when reality hits hard, you're realizing that being Iron Man isn't really easy. In fact, it's very difficult. You're starting to regret your choices now, that maybe you should have been a healer, maybe you should have been a tank, maybe you shouldn't have been Iron Man to begin with. And it's very easy to notice that everyone else in your entire team want to be DPS. Why? Because you're the only healer and the 5 other people in your team are DPS, specifically DPS. That should tell you that your team is not only stubborn, but don't give a shit about winning. Well, you look at that. Blame support. When in doubt, blame the healers. If an 0-6 streak in a match isn't obvious to you that maybe you, the DPS player, is doing something wrong in the game, then I don't know what will. Because blaming the healers on why you suck so bad can only get you so far. There's a reason why you, the DPS, couldn't get a single kill in the entire match. Why? Because you decided to pick a DPS character that you're not so good with, but you're gonna play with anyway, like Spider-Man or Iron Man. They're not easy to play as, especially in competitive mode. Okay, sure, you shot up all the way to platinum rank as a healer or as a tank, but now you decide to play as a DPS. But not just any DPS, you decide to play as Spider-Man. Why? Why would you play as Spider-Man if you're not good at Spider-Man? But you're gonna play as Spider-Man anyway, and you are the kind of person that has the ultimate excuse on why your team is losing, or in this case, why you're losing. You're gonna blame support, and if it's not support, you're gonna blame the tank, because you're that kind of person to take zero accountability when your team is losing, and the last person you want to be blaming is you, so you're gonna blame other people in your place. Only no DPS. It's cool to have that one main in Marvel Rivals, but if all you are good for is hard locking on Punisher or Iron Man all the time, and when the time comes for you to step up and be a healer or a tank, you choke. This is the worst kind of DPS to have, because not only you are only good at one character, but when that character is banned, then what? You crumble. Or how about only knowing that same character and still performing terribly? Then what? All you know is how to play Punisher and you still can't help your team out with some kills? Then what are you good for? And why are you even here? You're supposed to be practicing. Instead, you're causing others to lose. What's wrong with you? In the end, the war on why DPS is the most hated in Marvel Rivals is never going to end, because that's not how this world works. If you're someone like me who just wants to play Marvel Rivals just to have fun, then keep being you, fam, because if anything, all you gotta do is mute these toxic scumbags in Marvel Rivals and you'll be on with your day. You're not going to see these morons again once your match is over, because you're blocking these morons as soon as this match is over with. Now, does this mean you are going to be playing Marvel Rivals a lot less? No. Just because we have a bunch of toxic people who are playing as DPS doesn't mean that it's going to keep me away from playing Marvel Rivals, because I play this game to have fun, and so should you. So to my fellow Marvel Rivals players out there, keep on getting those W's, rank up, and ignore these toxic people, because no matter what, we're all here to have fun and keep on ranking up.